Hey, do you groan every time you go to make a recipe and that first ingredient is a chopped onion? And it might stir just a little panic in you because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm probably gonna make a mess of it and I'll probably end up crying. Well, I want to give you a few options today so that you can still enjoy the wonderful flavor that onions offer in a dish. So let's take a look at them. The first is to use green onions, because guess what? You can still get plenty of good onion flavor with a green onion, and they're a lot easier to chop. Like you can use your big chopping knife like this, but if this kind of chef's knife is troublesome, you can also chop green onions with just a small knife because they are so thin, small. So if that makes you feel more comfortable, that works too. But here's another option, and that is to just use scissors. You can just go ahead and cut those green onions into nice little slices, just like you'd be cutting a piece of paper. So that's option number one. Now option number two is to go ahead and use a regular onion. Because one nice thing is that green onions don't store that well. They maybe can last 4 or 5 days in the refrigerator. But, regular onions can last in the cupboard for, a month or two if need be. So it's kind of nice to also know an option for how you can chop a regular onion without a lot of trouble. And so for this, what I do is I start by cutting the ends off. Then I'm going to cut the onion in half. So there's a little bit of cutting here. But what I do is I put that hand on top, push through, and then I take those halves and I cut them into maybe thirds or quarters. And then, presto, I use the food processor to go ahead and slice those into nice, even slices. And I kind of got into this using the food processor because I recently had shoulder surgery and couldn't really use my right arm. So I discovered if I could at least do this much, be able to cut the onion into big chunks, then presto, I would have these really nice sliced onions, all nice, evenly sliced. And they also, because they come out so thinly, they cook really quickly as well. Now you can also chop onions using, most food processors of course always have a chopper attachment. But the problem with that is that, and it can certainly work, but the pieces come out a little bit unevenly sized, and so it may be that they don't cook quite evenly, but that's okay. You can just kind of watch them closely, and also watch them when you're chopping. They can easily turn into onion mush. So you'll want to make sure that you do just a few gentle pulses until they get to the right size. So that's option two, is to use the food processor. It takes a little bit of cutting, but not really very much. Now a third option is to use frozen chopped onions. And what you see here are some that I actually made myself, which I did before my arm was bad. And so I have these in the freezer and I can just grab out a handful whenever I want. Now the only downside, if you buy them at the store, they are a little more expensive than just regular onions. But if you can get busy and chop a whole bunch at once, then you've got a bunch for a week or 2 or 3, whatever you want to freeze and put aside. Now there is a fourth option too, and that is to learn how to chop an onion quickly and efficiently. And there are many ways to do this. I've developed a technique that I'd love to share with you, and that's in another YouTube video, which will be linked to this one. But please know that if you can just practice it a little bit, you'll be surprised at how efficient and quick you get at chopping an onion. In fact, I can do it in 42 seconds. So even if you do it in a minute and a half, that's no big deal. And you won't even have time to start crying. So I hope you'll take all of these options and think if any of those can work for you. Big bottom line message is, don't give up on onions. They add such a wonderful flavor foundation to a dish. So I hope one of these options will allow you to keep using onions and enjoy that wonderful flavor. So that's all for now. I'll see you next time with more kitchen tips and recipes. Bye now.